I think always being in the spotlight sometimes can be a little tiring.
It's kind of relentless, isn't it?
I almost had to like take those messages and step outside of myself and go, I'm making shit happen. I mean, I'm not dropping the ball.
But it's nice to see that insight, isn't it? Because it kind of helps understand the shape behind the human and your journey, but also who you are when you step up.
Hey there, you are watching Rise Reactions, the show where we dive deeper into the search of the ultimate trainers. And today I'm sitting down with Vili, Lula and Tine. Tine was tasked with assessing all the trainers that we see on the show. We are gonna react to episode 2 of this series, but here's the twist. I've seen it, they have not. So I came in prep to ask them some fun and thought-provoking questions throughout. So if you're here because you love powerful human stories, or if you're here because you just want to get to know these people a little bit better, you've clicked the right video. Lula, Vili, Tine, welcome. Today we're going to talk about family, confidence, and if you know what the reason is that you are asked to do this job. I can't wait because I'm very excited to show you what we've been cooking up. Are you ready to see this thing?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Let's go.
Let's just go.
Do it.
We are watching Rise, the search for the ultimate trainer, episode 2. Let's go.
Les Mills is one of the biggest fitness companies in the world.
So let's have a look at how big this actually is.
Yeah.
100,000 instructors.
Real team players that will bring their team along, and then there is the ones that stand alone and stand out.
2,000 master trainers.
2,000 master trainers.
Standing for myself so I don't get complacent. From that group of master trainers, then we're looking
Oh, do you remember that?
the best of the best.
That was cool, eh? Hey, Tina, first question comes to you. We just heard people saying 100,000 instructors, 2,000 master trainers. What are master trainers?
So master trainers are the global people that travel around, do these fantastic shows. They also help train the instructors and inspire people to want to fall in love with fitness.
That's nice. Hey, and then a few of these 2,000 master trainers we're following for this series. What makes these people the best of the best? Are there some shared characteristics that they have in common?
They amplify and they commit. Most of these high performers, they literally step into the space and they own it. They're not afraid to be vulnerable. They're not afraid to be themselves. They're not afraid to just go there. And that's what elevates them.
Is it a certain type of person, or is it anybody? Is it?
I don't think you can put a certain type of person on it. You have to really want it. You have to be an entertainer. You know, we're trying to make fitness entertaining at the same time. So you have to want to step into the spotlight, and you have to be pretty brave because there's a lot of eyes on you.
Yeah, we saw that. There's like a lot of big classes that are being taught. I'm excited to watch more. Let's dive into the next thing. It's cool to see all these people that we work so closely with, right?
The search for the ultimate trainer continues.
Nice, a little bit of drama from Dan.
Dan likes a little bit of drama. I love it.
That's good, eh?
I'm Dan Cohen. I'm a master trainer and coach.
Well, you can't be a master trainer without bringing a bit of drama, can you?
True.
Of
No.
instructors and trainers over the years. And many have come to us saying, you know,
Body Combat
I
100.
want to share that
I was going to say, that was Body Combat 100, eh?
Yeah.
How do I get there?
You were there,
That was
Lula. Vili,
London.
you were there.
It was London.
Do you remember the lights in London?
When I see someone
They
on
were
the gym
incredible.
floor that's like going all out, that inspires and motivates me.
Nice, Lula. That tree pops up many times during the show, and I think it's such a beautiful tree.
I want to do it.
Next time you drive past Lula, like, think of us, okay?
But that doesn't mean it's
Oh, did you
easy.
see the Conquer
And this
Studio?
is like cherry
Everything is
blossom
hard, but for
season
them,
2.
I'm willing
Like
to
all the
beautiful.
trees are blooming.
For my family.
So this episode is about family. because you have some beautiful stories about that. We're going to dive into your family, Lula, and then Vili, you share a lot about your family situation as well. Let's continue watching. The search for the ultimate trainers. Tine, don't they call trainers in the UK, isn't that sneakers?
No, that's in the US. Trainers are sneakers.
Are sneakers? Who said that?
Do you not have sneakers?
Oh, trainers as in the shoes, sneakers. Yeah, we
The
don't call them
shoes.
trainers, we call them sneakers.
Yeah, no,
for
Lula,
sure
you're not a
sneakers.
master sneaker. Lula, the master
No, I'm not
sneaker.
a
Mills International creates group fitness classes and distribute these around the world so that people in
there you are.
gyms around the
Yeah.
world can teach these classes to participants.
Lula, were you at this filming? Vili, you were there,
No,
right?
were they really out? Were y'all really outside?
Yeah,
That was
the
beautiful.
Masterclass happens 4 times a year.
It looked like here with the
I should
red
have been out
background.
there getting a tan. I was low-key jealous. I was like, are they getting a tan right now?
That is seen by millions of people around the world. It can be like
So Steve is explaining about how we film 4 times a year. 3 are done in New Zealand, 1 is done overseas. And these filming have the potential to grow instructors' profiles like really rapidly. He also mentions it's not an easy job. Lula, in 1 or 2 sentences, what is not easy about this job?
Gosh, what's not easy about it? I think always being in the spotlight sometimes can be a little tiring. And I think that's just why when I'm not on, I am with the dog and I'm just chilling. I think that can probably be one of the toughest things about it. The travel, I absolutely love the travel. I love being on stage. I love meeting new people, but I think the hardest thing is just taking that time for yourself to not be on all the time.
Being on the whole time. Vili, what is it for you? What is not easy about this job?
Yeah, switching off. Because I switch on and I stay on and I can stay on and then I forget like, oh, these other things I've got to carry on with, you know, other things in life that I got to do.
I don't think I've ever seen you switch off, Vili.
Yeah,
like you don't switch off. Like you
so
stay
that's the
on
hard
the
part.
whole time.
He mentions that's the hard part. Yeah, it is difficult.
So
right?
that's the hard part is just switching in.
Yeah.
And also remembering like how to be, like how to separate it when you especially when you get home.
It becomes a big part of your life, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of relentless, isn't it? I think that's always a word that sticks out for me. You have to relentlessly pursue it and commit to it. It's like
it's also such a high, you know, like when you're together and when you're with other instructors and other trainers and colleagues, like the energy is always so high. It's so nice to experience that, but it's costing a lot of energy as well. So often there's a big dip after, I don't know, the event is over, or the filming is done. That's a challenging part as well, I think.
Some people think you have to be an
agree.
extrovert, right? But you actually, many of the master trainers are introverts.
Totally not extrovert. Totally not an extrovert at all. Like I remember the first time I saw Vili. I didn't. It was I don't know what filming it was. Maybe my second filming, and we were in New Zealand. And I was in the practice room, and he was just sitting in the corner, and I didn't even know who he was. I was just like, who is that dude sitting? Why is he? His hat was down, his hood was down, and I was like, first he low-key scared the mess out of me, and I was like, whoa, he's just sitting in the back, just like
how long have you been there?
Chilling. I was like, who is this dude? I was like, yo, that's Vili. I was like, oh man, but
nice. It's a lot of different people, right? And everybody has their own approach to things. It's really cool. Yeah. Hey,
I used to
let's
get
keep
really
watching.
sick after filming too. Yeah.
Chapter 2, family.
Oh boy.
I always love watching about people's families because it shows you the background.
You have 4 kids. You know, you look amazing for a person that has 4 kids. No, I look fucking amazing. I mean, the only
Nice,
thing that
Lula.
sets me apart-
Come on, Lula.
I have stretch marks and you don't because you haven't passed no human beings through your body. This is who I am. There is no, I stood in the mirror this morning, I was like, you are fucking Lula Slaughter. There is no other. You are the.
Bring the sex.
Lula, we've seen you in episode 1 as well, and when I look at these episodes, there's one thing that I think of when I look at your pieces. Like confidence shines through in almost all the pieces. Have you always been this confident?
No, no. I mean, when I was a kid, I was really quiet and I didn't talk much at all. I mean, if you could even believe that. My family thought
That's
I was
hard to believe.
mute.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, right? Every time I walk into film and they're like, oh, Lula's here, because I'm like, what's up, y'all? But like, I literally did not talk. I remember I didn't go outside to play. I would just sit in the house and I would brush my doll hair. I got really good at like braiding and hair because that's all I would do. I was really afraid to interact with people as a kid. And I think honestly, having my daughter at 19 really forced me to start to engage with people more, because I was like, well, if you don't engage with people, then she's not going to learn how to engage with people. And you don't stand up for yourself and you're just quiet and timid, then she's going to be the same way. And I was like, I did not want her to be like that.
You wanted
her
to set the
be able to stand
example
up
for her.
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
And now she's like me on crack, like on speed.
That must
She's
be fun
amazing.
having both of you in there. We should have asked her to join.
It's like lightning and thunder, man.
Nice. I have another question. Like, can you have too much confidence? Can people have too much confidence?
I think when your confidence is when you use confidence to mask other things, like other emotions or other things that you haven't dealt with on the inside, I think then confidence can be detrimental. I think there's a lot of, yes, I come across as super, super confident, but there's a point where I still get afraid. I still, ask God, look, listen, make me humble. Lord, please keep me humble. Keep me humble. Keep me appreciating where I am and what I'm doing. But there are some times when I just have to stand up and be like, you are that. Well, you said I couldn't swear, so I'm not gonna swear. You are Lula Slaughter, because my thing is like, if I don't tell myself that, if I can't stand up and say that in the mirror, then nobody else is gonna do it for me.
Nice. So would you draw that line? Because we've all seen these talent shows, right? Where we have idols here in the Netherlands or whatever. Some people come in so confidently. You think they're going to be the star of the show. Then they start singing and everybody hears that the singing is not so good. It's not the confidence. Sometimes people are very confident, but it doesn't really match their actual capabilities. But I like what you just said, like when you use confidence to mask certain emotions, maybe is that where you draw the line, where you find the balance?
I think confidence needs to appear when it needs to appear. And I don't know any other better way of saying it. I think there's a time and a place for everything, for every emotion. And I think for me, just the way I was raised, the way I grew up, the way I had to grow up, just, really kind of forced that confidence. And I think sometimes it didn't allow me to develop some of those other things like vulnerability, which is like a new thing. At 51, I'm like, okay, this is a new thing for me, being vulnerable, building community that I want, and asking people for help and stuff. So there's definitely a balance to it, for sure. There's a balance to confidence, because you can't be, you obviously can't be overconfident and suck. Can I say that? I mean, really,
You've said it.
Like, I said it. Ooh, I said it. But like, for me, it's like, it's not bragging if you could back it up. Who said that? Was that Muhammad Ali or something? You know what I'm saying?
Nice, yes. And it's really nice to hear people speak highly about themselves as well. Because it's often so easy for us to speak highly about others and then sometimes forget about ourselves in the process. It's really nice that you can do that at certain times.
You got to have self-love. That's self-love, boss. You got to have some self-love.
Let's watch some more of your family life.
Wow.
Flemington, that's your place, Lula.
Oh, Flemington. Look at that.
What I do. Like, I love what I do. That's great. You can love what you do, but you still got to pay the bills.
True. It's true, Lula.
Every job you could probably
that part.
think of.
It's true.
And right now, I'm a teacher. So in the morning, because I get 1 hour to myself, I have to make my choice. Do I sit with the dogs?
I was wondering, Lula, how do you make that bacon look so good?
I don't know, because
that was like top notch.
Supposed to be walking every single day.
I burned the biscuits, so the bacon was fine. Oh God. Oh gosh.
These are your boys, Lula.
You're
off school today.
And I told him, I was like, don't put on a shirt. I said, put on a shirt.
Well, if I have shoulders like Mason, I wouldn't put a shirt on either.
Oh, there's the bacon.
Oh, my babies. You guys, I haven't seen them in forever.
So it's cool for him to take off, bro. I know he's way
We need to recruit them as instructors, Lula.
I've been trying. I'm telling you, they won't do it. And they're all athletic.
Yeah, it looks like that. It also looks like there's a lot of energy in the house, eh?
Oh, God, so much.
It must be fun.
I think they're starting to understand now.
Oh, you guys.
Let's watch a little bit because it's really cool to watch, eh?
I missed.
You bind them, Satan, in the name of Jesus, God. And I ask that today you.
How much does faith play a role in your family?
A lot.
Yeah?
Be ourselves, but still love one another.
I miss them so much.
In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Who's the loudest
You're
person
so-
in the house?
You.
I am not the loudest person in the house.
Guaranteed. Taylor's close second.
They calling
Absolutely
it. They
not.
calling it, Lula. Nah.
This is the funniest part of the entire
Absolutely
video,
not.
eh?
The loudest one. Can I have the X, please?
Everybody get out.
Just three sons mocking around with their mom a little.
Dogs, Mason, can you go get my water, Mason? Can you get the groceries?
Bro, I'll be sitting upstairs.
And then she'll be like,
Look, you see how my kids do me?
and I'm like,
I'm a teacher. I do not yell at people.
Heinies, in 5.
They're telling you the truths there, Lula.
That is not what I do.
I'm just wondering, Lula, can we have some permanent camera in your house to record more of these conversations? I think we can turn this into something.
Hilarious.
It's really cool, eh?
I still got PTSD.
I would watch if my kids had a show. I literally would take Tina popcorn and watch it. And watch it.
It's coming at you.
Oh gosh. Oh man, you can't.
It's really precious, and I want to make good.
That's the tree
There's
again.
the tree.
There's that
Baz's tree.
Day that I have. Hi, Davis. But again, it just goes back to trying to eliminate hurry out of my life, which is almost impossible right now.
You can't. There's always hurry.
Need to absorb all the time.
Always the hustle, right?
Committed to. This
That's
is
the
what-
relentless
It's like
part.
go. That's all
Yeah.
we do is go.
Yeah.
Welcome to Body Combat. We're just gonna start T-minus 2 minutes.
But I'm making a promise to be more of a present parent to the boys. Because when you're not present, they're just like, she just spent all day at the gym. She never here. Okay, maybe I'm only doing 35 minutes. Maybe I'm gonna cut one extra body part today and not spend all day at the gym.
Nice.
Because I
Lula,
literally could spend all day at the gym.
Lula, you're talking about that you're very committed to this, and you say this is just what I'm doing. What is it exactly that you're committed to? What is the goal?
That's interesting. People have asked me that before. Sometimes I can't really explain it. I'm committed to fitness. Like I'm committed to moving. I'm committed to, and this is just like the recent thing. Like when we filmed this, I wasn't even in that headspace. It was now for me, it's just like, I get so many messages from all around the world from women just going, you're this, you're that, you're amazing. You're such an inspiration. You're such an inspiration. I hear that so much. And it just sometimes will go in one ear and out the other. And I was like, I'm just doing this thing. This is just what I'm doing. I teach class. I love fitness. I love being in front of people. And now it's kind of switched gears to, okay, if I'm this inspiration, I must be that girl. Like I am that, you know what? And it needs to learn to now turn around and help people. And that's literally the plane that I'm living in is like everything that I do. If I'm that person, I almost have to like take those messages and step outside of myself and go, is that me? Am I? Cause like, you look at yourself like, I'm an instructor, I have children and I'm just doing it. I'm making shit happen. I mean, I'm not dropping the ball. I'm doing everything I can do. But then people are looking at you going, do you see what you're doing? I go, no, I'm just doing it. It's just, how like Vili, like we're wired this way. This is how we're wired. We don't, we just do it. And there isn't much thought to it. But I mean, now it's a commitment to just really helping people and trying to instill what people see in me, in them.
So is the goal helping others through fitness?
Yeah.
Is that
for sure.
Okay. You
for
also
sure.
mention you can't do it all. You just can't do it all. You say that twice, I think. So how do you prioritize?
It's tough. You know, I say you can't do it all, but yet every day I put on this cape and I try to do it all. Every single day I go, I gotta teach class. I have to look at choreography. I have to help my clients. I have to film content. I have to do this. I have to walk the dog. I have to take the dog to the park. I can't let dishes sit in the sink. It's like this innate sense of I can't drop any of these balls that are in the air. Because if one drops, then sometimes I feel like, have I failed? And I've learned, I'm learning to just let some stuff go, but it is really hard when you're just wired that way.
What is the stuff that you're trying to let go?
Oof. I think for me, it's just that want to prove myself all the time. And I think a lot of that just are vestiges from just when I grew up and just what was said to me and how I was treated, you know, just growing up and just feeling like I have to constantly prove myself. And I mean, obviously, Tina, Vili, we work in this we're in this fitness industry. You know, we're constantly on stage trying to, you know, be the biggest thing and work with our teammates. And for me, it's like, I want to prove that I can do this, that I can be here, that I am part of this pack and part of this family. And I think a lot of it in the back of my mind is it's like Muhammad Ali, like, I got to be the greatest. I just have to be the greatest at everything. Not just Les Mills. I just have to be the greatest at everything. If it's my hair going to be perfect. If it's my makeup, I'm going to figure out how to do it perfect. If it's my dog, like, I'm going to make sure that he's taken care of and like everybody's happy. And then when you drop the ball, like for me, I've got kids that are grown. I mean, you just saw my family. You can't tell them what to do. You just hope that they don't embarrass you. But it's like you can't, you drop the ball when you have children. I mean, you know, it's not always like smooth sailing. And I think that has been one of the hardest things to learn is that, you know, it's like you've got to let them be them. And it's not about you dropping the ball. It's about you now looking at them going, okay, how can I be a part of their world and coach and not control? This isn't dropping the ball. This is just them trying to figure out life, just like how I'm doing.
Yes.
So
yeah. It's beautiful to see, eh?
Yeah.
Shall we watch the rest?
When I'm blessed to travel and do master classes, I have to tell myself, like, this is all you're gonna get, Lily. You're only gonna get a moment in front of these people for a couple hours.
That's a beautiful realization.
And if I let this moment
really taking in the moment,
not enjoy it, then
which can be difficult.
I'm totally missing
I've
We've only
missed a
got
lot
that
of
10
moments.
seconds to capture people.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're moving to the next person, Charlotte.
Hi. Charlotte! I'm Charlotte. I'm from France. And
you know what I realized? She grew up in the city that I always went to on a holiday throughout my teenage years. Like, she lives in the south of France.
Your paths like never crossed?
No. This is where I learned to surf.
It's in the southwest.
It's a beautiful place.
That's where Charlotte
Stunning.
lived? Oh my gosh,
wow.
that's beautiful. Wow.
Oh, look at that light. Bicep curling light.
That's a pretty cool light, right?
Never seen that before.
She grew up in a fitness family.
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
Here, because my parents live upstairs, so I was all the time sleeping on the bank or.
She grew up. So she grew up in a gym, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
It was normal for me.
In the blood.
Like it was.
And her parents are still active in the gym, within the gym as well. They're both teaching classes.
Are they really?
Wow, that's incredible. Imagine having that inspiration.
Wow.
I can be still like that if I want it.
Resting, training.
And her mom is still at her, you know?
That's crazy. Like, to have your mom, it's like my kids looking at me, but like that's my mom. That would be so dope.
You would like that, Lula?
Yes.
Wow.
Gold's Gym,
40 years ago.
Gym.
That's incredible.
And it looks like a gym where everybody knows each other.
of them still work.
Yeah, lots of community.
Yeah.
But you know, like bodybuilders, they have this big community.
That's her dad, still teaching classes.
My father is 76. He has.
Wow.
That's a good squat in the back. Do you see that? Did you see that squat in the back?
Some depth there, yeah.
And my mom is 68 and she has maybe 15.
Still teaching classes.
Wow.
That's gonna be me to like 100.
That's really cool.
They're gonna have to carry us out of there.
They're gonna have to carry us all up out of there.
A number they feel being part of the gym and of the family.
It's so nice. It feels like a local gym, you know?
Wow.
Lucky for them.
Okay, we're back in New Zealand.
My name is House, and I'm coming from
House.
Singapore.
How's everybody?
Just landed a
House in the house.
hours.
Hey, Tina, I want to come back to those numbers at the bottom of the screen a little bit later. If
Okay.
I may.
Hit me up.
Yeah.
I remember my first filming. House really helped he really helped me in Body Combat 83.
Cool.
A lot.
Was that your first filming, 83?
That was, that was my,
Wow.
was that my first
Can I just
one?
get eyes on Mike, the taxi driver? He has been picking me up since 2013.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
The same taxi
Yeah, that was the
driver.
first one, Tina. 83 was the first one. He was so good. He was so helpful with my sidekicks, with just
Nice.
everything. He's a love. He calls me sis.
And that's the hotel we're staying when we're in New Zealand. It's very close to the office.
Loads of emotions. And a lot of the time, the lows come from the self-doubt.
The OG.
I can't do this.
The OG.
Oh, I love high tops. And House wears them so well,
man.
doesn't he?
Oh, I know.
Hey, team, we hear Kylie saying that a lot of the times going through filming week, there can be that self-doubt, right? You can say, like, yeah, we have presenters saying to themselves, I'm not good enough for this. Do you recognize that? Vili, does that pop up during filming week for you?
I think it pops up for everybody because you always want to be the best version of yourself. And yeah, you go through the emotions even till still these days, it's only because you expect the best of yourself. And yeah, everyone.
Is there a specific thing that comes back to you, Vili? Like a specific thing that you doubt about or wonder about?
In a filming week leading up to the filming. Oh man, I just always want to do better than last time. And like do better than before. So I will analyze and assess what I didn't like last time. And then I'll ask my family to assess and analyze what do you think?
Oh,
And they're
wow.
like, no, you're good. And it's, to me, I'm never satisfied. So that's what goes through my mind. Yeah.
So do you give yourself feedback on the last presentation?
Yeah.
After watching it back, do you write some stuff down that you want to do differently in the next one, or?
I kind of, it's just all in my head.
Okay.
What I know I can change and stuff
Yeah.
that, and habits that I have
Yeah.
and habits that I like. And then, yeah, I just constantly analyze. It just keeps the hunger there, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what highlighted, what stood out for me in the last episode as well, is all of the people that are who are on this road. They have that internal drive for greatness. They always want to do good, and they want to be better than the last time.
Yeah.
It's cool to hear how you take that on, Vili, and that you actually watch back what you've done prior to see what you can make better this time. It's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Very exciting because it's a massive opportunity to do this.
How many times have you stepped into that elevator?
Why me?
And you always have to bleep the card that I always forget.
Right answer, but
I pressed the fire alarm button by mistake.
What?
Yeah.
Tina, you rebel.
When I asked why me,
Yeah. I was like, wow.
she said because it's you.
I remember we first walked in those rooms and I didn't realize the card had to be in the slot for everything to work overseas.
They saw an X Factor.
I sat in the dark for hours when I first got.
But that's a good thing. Hey,
You here, baby? Yes.
Hey, House just asked a question to himself that he asked himself, why me? Why am I chosen? That's a difficult question to answer, right?
Person, this entity.
Do you have a clear answer, Lula?
You can't really miss home. You can't really be soft. You just go right into your, you go right into your prezo mode. You just have to be like, this is what I'm doing. Shut it off.
That's what you do. You shut it off quick.
They expect me, okay, know your timing, know your shiz. I mean, like, know your stuff.
So this is in rehearsal week?
Expand the range to make it a little bit clearer to see.
That was Body Combat 96, and I remember that. And was that, Vili, was that when you and I started? That was when we started.
Was that the first one?
That was the first time that I was presenting with you. That was, had done 83, and I think 96 was my first time back with combat. I was so nervous. I couldn't get the timing of that. And that's when you switched for me from like, oh my gosh, it's Vili, to like, that is my brother. Because you were like, you helped me so much, like so much. And it was like, from that moment, it was like we developed like this brother-sister relationship. And now it's really cool because you'll just come up to me and just give me feedback. And I'm like so thankful for it. I remember when I did ballet, my teacher said, when somebody walks up to you and they give you feedback, it's because they care. And it's because they know that you can handle it. And if they didn't know that you couldn't do anything with it, they wouldn't say nothing. And I was so thankful for the help, for the feedback. And every time I see you at filming, it's like you always get in my ear at the right time and go, and give me that. Okay, Lulu, you got this. You got you got this. You got this. You got this. And like literally, it just that release there, that was a really tough one for me. I was really in my head a lot about that one, and the timing was so hard for me to get. But like you were like my ace on that one, Bills.
Yeah.
Hey, Vili, take us through there. What's happening in that room? So we see people, presenters watching recordings of themselves. What is the process like? Take us through it.
Well, for that specific release, the timing was like very hard to hear and very hard to catch. And you've only got a few days, right? You only got a few days to try and pull it off. And anytime we watch the video, whether it be Dan or Rach, and during this time, they teach the same, but then they don't teach the same. So they're very intricate in the way their timing is. And what we were finding is like, okay, are we going to follow Dan's timing or Rach's timing?
Yeah.
They were different, but the timing was still the same.
Yes.
So I was like, man, okay. And then me and Lula had the warm up. And then it just got to a point where I was like, just trust it. Like, just trust that you're going to land this choreography. I think what goes through our mind is trying to be perfect. This is what goes through our mind while we're sitting there, is like, it's not perfect. So all we're looking at is the imperfections in the timing and the choreography.
Yes.
That's all we look at. Yeah.
How often do you look at yourself during filming week? Do you film every class? What is it like there?
I think we film every class. Yes, we film every class. And then it doesn't take me long to self-assess. So I can look through, I'm at a point where I can look through, like, I know what I need to look at during a track. So say a track is 3 minutes 30, it's track number 2. I know where within the track what I need to look at. So it might be 1 minute 30. I felt a little bit like wonky
uncertain
here. Let me have a look at it. I'll look at it, assess, and I go, I was right about my gut. I'm going to change that.
Nice.
And I just make the assessment quick. Yeah.
And then there are a few sessions where you have an assessment with the entire team, like we just saw now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you hope you don't get roasted in them set. And I'm gonna tell y'all what, if you don't watch those, because they film those classes, and you supposed to watch them videos. And y'all. Okay, this is about to. I'm just gonna say it because we're supposed to be real, right? Okay, the tea is that sometimes Lula didn't watch the class, but you're supposed to watch the class. But you know where that bites you in the tail is when you look at the master class and you was like, no, was that my sidekick? or no, were my arms like this on tone? Dag, Lula, you need to stretch. You need
It's such
yoga.
an important part in the process, right?
Yes.
Yes,
And I
yeah.
promise you, I will never not watch a video because arm placement, body placement,
Yeah.
everything is just, it's so important to
Yeah.
watch every single video from the first time they
Yeah.
film to the very last time. But like for me,
And I don't
like
know
I'm
if you
gonna go to film
recognize
with a
this,
whole
Lula,
different
but
attitude.
I don't know if you recognize this, but people can tell you need to step wider. And it's fine, and it's good feedback. But once you see yourself doing it on screen, you instantly get it, right? Ah, that's what you
well,
mean.
like remember you was trying to fix my burpee because my burpee, I go so wide on my burpee and you go so narrow on your burpees. Like this was when I first went to Tone, and I was like, my hips are so tight. I was like, I couldn't do it. I
My
couldn't
calves
fix
are
it.
too
I was
thick,
like,
so it looks like the feet are really narrow, but they're wide. They're like this far apart. Let's keep
you got
watching
the
TV.
best burpee ever, boss. I'd be
Keep that
like,
coming,
I
boss.
can't stand this dude.
Play there, but then we get serious again.
So we're back into like
Oh.
the feedback, the shared feedback.
For me, I'm like, listen, show up prepared. Like, don't be the black chick that don't have your shit together.
That's
doesn't watch
that's
your
just what
video.
you said.
Do that again in here is do it and coach at the same time. It just went off, didn't it? We just lost it again.
And then it looked like we didn't get it right here. Well, actually, I'm trying to be polite. I'm saying we, but I wasn't in the room.
We can definitely be taking up a gear and taking it up a gear and taking it up.
And then time is getting away from us, right? I'm saying us because I'm trying to be polite, but I wasn't in the room.
And before then, I was just this shy, very quiet person who just never stood up for herself, never really said much.
You
But
just
look at you
mentioned this,
now,
Lula.
Lula. The difference.
Just be me. There's no kids. There's
A
no
completely
dogs. It's
different
just
human
like,
being.
Oh, it's just Lula taking care of Lula. Like, oh shit, this is fun as hell.
Hey, we just
Ooh,
spoke
it's
about.
like lick.
We just spoke about you coming across like really confident, but you're saying in this part that you weren't always that woman or that girl. What has
No.
changed, or what made it change?
Life. That's the school of life for you. I mean, literally, you can either not be confident. The thing about it is, you set your intention for the day, basically. And if confidence isn't part of that, then whatever you encounter for that entire day, like you set who you're going to be, because people are going to be coming all day long. Things, ideas, problems, issues, filmings, rehearsals, feedback, it's all coming for you. You just have to set your intention and say, you know what, I am who I am. This is, I can make adjustments. I can make as many adjustments as you need to, but I still love myself. I'm still confident. I can still do this. You got to start with that. And I've learned over the years that you can't approach stuff like, it's like my kids, my oldest plays football. And I said, if you don't get on that field, first of all, I didn't want him to play because I didn't want him to get hurt. But then I turned it. And I would just like cry. I was just like at his rehearsals or his, whatever you call it, like the team practices. And, when he would get hurt, I would get stressed out. And then I started to tell him, I said, if you don't show up confident and if you don't just like roll everybody else over, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get like massively hurt. And it was just, I had to start walking into everything like that. Like, you got to show up, because if you don't show up with as much confidence as you can, you're going to get massively hurt somehow.
What was you spoke about setting the intention for the day. What was the intention that you set for today?
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm so glad that you asked that, because I'm doing this special thing. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it, but we're doing like this Courage Pathway project, which is maybe I'm not supposed to say that. I don't know, but it talks about like setting your intention for the day and how do you wake up, how do you rise, and how do you go to bed. And for me, I wake up every morning and I read the scripture for the day. And of course, it's Easter on Sunday, and so it's just about all of the. So my intention every single day is I take 2 scriptures. I take one out of my Bible reading, and then I do like this daily walk with God thing. And I see if the scriptures will match up because if they match up, then I'm like, ooh, that means I'm really supposed to look out for that. But this
So what
morning,
was the
it's
theme
just,
today?
it's just all about just that Christ died for our sins. I mean, and just like that, he's buried, he was rose again, that type of thing. And just like his like he took on our transgression. So his sacrifice paved the way for us. And I was like, wow, here's somebody sacrificing something for me. What can I sacrifice for somebody today? And then at the end of the night, and y'all, I didn't always used to be like this. I'm not trying to be like, oh, holier than now, because I promise you, I just started doing this. I promise. Because I used to just end the day with like a silly, funny comedy movie because I was so mentally spent from everything that I'd done the day, physically tired. We're mentally spent because, we're athletes and stuff. But I started reflecting on the scripture or reflecting on what my reading was for the morning. And I was like, did you do that? Did that happen? Did somebody cut you off and make you mad? Did you really sacrifice for somebody today? So I try to be really reflective now. And that really just started because I live by myself now.
Nice, yeah.
So
yeah, you have time to reorganize parts of your life that you didn't have when the whole family was still there.
Yeah.
We're going to watch a beautiful conversation between you and Marlon. Let's keep rolling.
Gonna get interesting.
Transition from 1A to 1B, please. The time's going to run away with us if this seems to
Time is running away. Time is running away in this conversation as well.
We're going to do it right.
People get chosen and they often don't know why. Well, what do I have that somebody
That's what we
else
spoke
doesn't
about.
have?
Do you know why you're chosen?
And the
Do you know why
question's
you're
ironic
chosen for this
because
role?
You're chosen simply because you're you, and you manage to evoke that. Or
That boy has
personify
talked
that
me
on
off of so
stage.
many ledges.
I'm like, don't you fucking dare let
Absolutely
people
not.
take away from
Absolutely not.
any of that
Absolutely
shit.
not. And do not lose yourself.
Let's watch a little bit more because this is really interesting.
That's the most important thing. This is me on this piece of paper, or this is me on this script. This is me.
Gosh, I forgot about
When
this.
people come here, they lose sight of it, and then they start trying to be something else. And then in doing that, you begin to.
That's when the confidence goes.
And it doesn't
You see
Right
that
out
a
the
lot
window.
of times, the roller coaster, even when I was
Yep.
looking at that, see where the confidence drops.
Actually,
Yeah.
social media Lula, not.
And it's not nice, but it's interesting that you can see that from the outside, right, Tina? That people go through that.
People need to start seeing.
And you can see it in how they teach.
Yeah.
Because we get caught up in our heads, and you can see that all of a sudden it becomes a different person, the human that doesn't believe in themselves or gets caught up internally.
Yeah. Yeah.
This person told you to act.
Yeah, it's like, what do they want me to say? Should I say that? Am I allowed to say this?
Pull further and further away.
And you could see that.
Yes.
Which is the reason you were chosen in the first place.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm just as smart as I am muscular. Do I really count, as a true ambassador when it comes to being an African American woman?
You know what I mean? Like
100%. 100%. That's who we are. We are the version of ourselves. There is no other version. That's it. They broke the fucking mold.
Love that.
This is it.
Hey Lula, we see a beautiful conversation between you and Marlon, but we don't know the backstory. Can you take us back? What happened there for you to have this conversation, trying to figure out where to go next?
I was struggling. I was struggling with that choreography. I was struggling with just that just the space, the rehearsal space, and just really, because for us as trainers, as master trainers, I wanted to make sure that the product was a good product and that I wasn't a weak link in the chain. And that day I felt like a weak link in the chain. I mean, even just me watching the choreography and how I was throwing hooks and how I throw jabs and crosses and stuff, it's so different. Like, my technique is 10 times better. That was 96. We're on Body Combat 106 now. It's changed so much. And that's grown so much. And I think, just the ability for me to just be like, F it. I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm going to say what I want to say. I think every time I personally go to filming, it just gets a tad bit better and better and better. I think Marlon is one of those people where, he just came out the box and was like, I'm going to just say whatever. I'm going to wear a blonde wig. I'm going to do what I want to do. And there's such a big part of me that's very reserved. I have such a big personality, but my favorite color is black. I mean, like, there's a lot of reservation in me, and she still has yet to come out. And I think this life stage that I'm in right now is just kind of like, fuck it, let's just live. Let's just go. So the backstory is that I wasn't feeling good about that rehearsal at all.
Did you need that conversation there and then to give yourself permission to do all the things you just spoke about? Was it sort of like, did you use that conversation to get to the other side?
Yeah. I think for me, I was really, because Marlon is an African American. I'm just gonna say it. Like we ain't got to be all whatever. Marlon's black. I'm black. We black, and I identify with that. That was for me. It was for me like the brown people. I identify with them. It just made me. I needed a bit of home, and I needed a bit of somebody to pull me aside and say, "This is what I need from you." You know, just like, you know, Vili would be like, this is, you know, Lula, you know, Vili's a little bit like sneakier with the way he gives like my feedback and stuff. But like, it's the same thing. It's like, these are people that I felt like I was identifying with at the time. And now I know the presenter so much more, like everybody's family to me. But when you're kind of trying to figure out your space and who you are, in that space and not just coming into it like I know who I am because I wasn't that person, you know. No. I needed that small conversation for sure.
Nice. It's a beautiful conversation. Thanks for sharing. Vili, speaking about Vili, we're diving into your story now.
Oh man, can't remember.
Hope you're ready.
Yeah. Here we go, Vili.
Let's go.
Ready or not? Ready or not?
You need tea
and mints.
And mints.
We're going.
The mothership.
The mothership. Yes. I miss New Zealand so much when I see these beautiful...
You are drawn in because he is intense.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Intense. When I think of Vili, always training, always moving, driven.
Where you nearly feel you're gonna get burnt because there's a lot of intensity there, but that's also what his trademark is. That's what makes him so great physically.
Look at those Jones. Come on. Split knees.
Some of the others, and that's the intensity.
And it looks like Vili is never getting tired.
Never.
But he has a non-stop
like engine. Bunny.
It's unreal. He has a non-stop engine. How does that happen?
It's for them, for my family. There's nothing I can't break through, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Oh, that effort. Everything is hard, but I'm willing to... I love
that. It's hard, but
for them, I'm willing to push through.
Wow. For the fam.
My why is always to empower the people to crave this fitness thing that's gonna help you be healthier, be stronger.
That's something you might have in common, Lula and Vili. Like helping people through fitness, yeah?
Yeah.
She keeps the balance in terms of just making sure everything is
There's the queen. The other queen, Lula.
Yes. I'm telling you.
Karan.
And it's so cool to see Vili and Karan teach together. I absolutely love watching them together.
They're just like heart. Such heart.
So good. So good.
Purpose of getting people healthy and fit. It's really simple for me.
It's good to have a simple why, you know, you can always go back to it.
He's like very particular. Like, he likes to have everything perfect, which is not a bad thing.
I love when you say, there's Mama, Vili, when you talk about Karan on filmings.
And then Vili's just really like, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Yeah, and I just
not perfect, but like,
pretty perfect.
Just preparation, that's it.
Vili, I wanted to know how is it to work so closely with your partner, with Karan, and do you take work home?
Man, yeah, and it's I've had to learn how to switch that side off, so we don't come home because. How do I break it down? We can spend all day like working, doing the same thing, teaching classes, and then getting home, and then we don't realize that it's almost bedtime, right? 9:30.
End of the day.
All we've done is speak about work, 24 hours. So I had to learn to switch off when I got home, and I'm still trying. Because
so how do you do it?
Upskill myself in with training it. That's all I want to talk about, and so it's acknowledging that like. I also need to be a husband, right?
Yeah.
I'm just not her training partner. And there's times where she'll check me. She was like, don't treat me like a training partner. Work's finished. So it's good to set those boundaries.
So you're holding each other accountable? Yeah, I can imagine. Because you're both very driven as well. So it's like almost natural to talk about the stuff that you're so driven about, you know? Or so driven for. Nice. So you're learning how to keep that more separate.
Yeah, like it's still challenging, but it's like once we get in the door, it's like it doesn't exist, and it's like, oh, how was your day today? And then talk about anything other than work or training or fitness.
Nice, beautiful. Let's continue, eh?
Patience. It's taught me patience, and it's good for me. It's good for me to like relax a little bit because it's a good balance.
What a word, patience. It's the hardest thing in this business.
Like, so to some people who don't know us and how long we've been together and our dynamic, it might seem that I'm like the mean one, but I'm really not, because I've
don't believe that for a second.
Longer than I haven't known him. I grew up with him. We had a child together, and if everybody knew his real circumstances growing up, like the fact that he is like one of the best at what he does in the entire world is quite phenomenal. He's really worked hard for every single thing that he has. Like, you know, it took us like 18 years to buy a house, and we're really proud of that. And then for him to just be at this level, operating at this level, and being like where he is and what he is, like it's surreal. It's people like us don't really, like, this is not the story that people like us typically have. So it's a good feeling. I'm really proud of him.
She's speaking so lovingly about you, eh? I wanted to ask you two things. She mentions the circumstances of you growing up. Is there anything you can share about that?
Just wasn't a wealthy family, and everyone was just like, oh, that's probably a wrong way to put it. I was just like, just challenges, man, growing up, challenges, and always having to just do the best of what we had. And
she also mentions
face, you know, when there's heaps of challenges growing up. So
she also mentions like this doesn't happen to people like us.
Yeah. Or I think she's referring to. I know she's referring to when she got pregnant, when she was 16, and then you don't know what the future is when you're in that. When you're in that
you
position.
You actually share something in the episode, so let's have a look.
My dad, he keeps me grounded. Without that, you can't control the beasts, man.
Whoa,
every beast needs someone to control, like someone to help keep them level.
It's funny, you mentioned that your dad keeps you grounded, and then we see the biggest sunglasses.
People say, how's your dad? And I say, oh, he's doing great. For some that find out, oh, he's no longer here, they think it's creepy. But to me, it's not creepy at all, because I'm like, oh, the spirit, to me, keeps me grounded and level when I feel like lost. Great man, good role model.
It's like having a safe space and an anchor.
Discipline me for the right reasons, for doing the wrong stuff. I had been playing rugby since a little kid. He was training me from young. I was doing really, really well. And then Karan got pregnant. He was very, very, very angry. Very angry. Very disappointed. You've broken their family. You have completely changed the course of the dreams that they have for their daughter. It was you. It was you. It was your fault. You did this to her. What are you going to do about it? Multiple lessons. And I felt really, really bad. I felt bad. It was a struggle, you know? You're 18, 19. He just said, now you know what it's like to be in my shoes, except you're just a little kid. So you need to figure this out as a man because you chose this is what you've done. This is your responsibility now. You have to provide for this baby and this woman with their family that you have just upset.
That must have been a really big thing, Vili.
Yeah, it was at the time. Yeah.
Can you take us back to that time? You were both very young. You were playing rugby at a high level, and then you're finding out that you're getting a daughter together. How was that time for you?
It was just having to explain to the parents. That was the biggest thing. The biggest thing is explaining to her parents and my parents as well. So it's like, oh, we're gonna tell everybody, and then from there things just exploded. And it was like he was right in a way, because every parent has the best intentions for their kids to grow up, and they've kind of seen they've got a pathway they want to see them be successful and have a great future. Everyone wants that for their children. Yeah. And so I had to acknowledge that and go, oh man, I really effed this one up big time.
And he wasn't afraid to tell you.
Yeah, he just told me straight up, like, do you think you're a man? Like, look, do you have any? He felt for the family more than me, because it was it was their daughter, and then like her dad didn't want to talk to me, which is fair. Like, I didn't expect anything. He just didn't even want to look at me. And it's fair. Everything was fair. Yeah.
How did you made it through that time, Vili?
Pardon?
How did you made it through that time?
Oh man, that's where I got the drive to be like proving everyone wrong, And I started working jobs that I didn't want to work, and I was just like, I don't even care if it's McDonald's, whatever it is, I need to get into a job straight away. And it was fair for everybody to just leave me and go, oh yeah, you think you're the man, go provide and see what it's like as a parent. And so we jumped straight into it, and I just had to go to work, and she wasn't old enough to get like the benefit, like family assistance. Yeah. Because she hadn't even turned 18 yet. So I was just like, I think I just turned 18, and I was like, oh man, this is not enough. This is not enough money, So I think, it was just, man, so long ago seeing that. But it was like, I had no time to feel sorry for myself, and I had no time to feel sorry for myself and be like, what about me? What about me? Like, I learned all my drive within that first year, and I grew up, and I couldn't hang out with people anymore. And
you needed to do what needed to be done.
Yeah, man. No friends, that no one understood. So I was like, oh, okay. Had some family, and then some family were just disappointed, so disappointed. And then within the pregnancy, it was when she was born, when she was born, it was like, oh shit. Because my family and at the hospital, they didn't want to see each other. Yeah, my family and Karan's family didn't want to look at each other all the way up to the birth of the baby. Yeah, so it was things like that was constantly putting pressure on me to sort everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, take the responsibility. Go, I'm going to take care of this now. Yeah.
What were some things that you had to learn real quick?
Man, I had to learn to be an adult real quick and like not think about myself. Right?
Yeah.
I was like, shit, like I can't party anymore. Like my friends, like there's no drinking. Like people party,
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone was going out and they were enjoying their life. And I'm like, how do I get nappies? Like, I have to go and get the baby stuff and buy her a cot and think about how Karan, and then just buy stuff for the kid. And I was like, oh man. And I had so many distractions, but I had to focus. to prove to,
What was
to
it
prove
in
to
you,
the family
Vili,
that
that
I'm yeah
no,
that
sorry,
I'm
sorry, please
worthy.
go.
But yeah, no,
What is it in you, Vili, that because this story is special, but it's not unique. Lula, with you being a teacher at school and me being a teacher at school, this story happens more often, but dedication that you seem to have had within that whole process, that is unique. What was it in you that you wanted to do it this way?
Had no choice. Gave myself no options. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna prove everybody I'm gonna prove it with or without you. And then I just started focusing on those two.
Have you always had that because that's something that I recognize you, like showing up and just showing people, you know, like proving people, not necessarily proving people wrong, but show. Have you always had that?
I don't know, man. I think it's probably because like growing up, I always wanted stuff and I never got it.
Yeah.
And like I never got to go to Disneyland like as a kid, and I was told I was gonna go to Disneyland, and then I was told like, oh, for your birthday you're gonna get this, and then I wouldn't get it, and then like I always wanted to do stuff, and I wanted to do what other kids were doing, and like I wanted to go to school camp, and then my parents are like, oh, you're not gonna go to school camp. Like I was told a lot of things, but I never got it. And then I was just like, man, I'm done with people talking. I'm never gonna be like people like this. And a lot of that was in my upbringing. And so I was like, I'm just gonna do things. Like, you know, the whole talkers and doers thing. I was like, I like action. I like action.
I'll do it. Yes.
It's very visible. Like you can see it. Like when you action something, everyone can see it.
Yeah.
But when you talk about it, you don't really believe it until you see it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of cut that part out. Yeah.
The place where I grew up has a saying in Dutch. It's like geen woorden maar daden. It means like no words, but actions. Actions count.
Yeah.
Rather than words.
Yeah. I feel it proves the point.
What is it, Vili? What if young guys right now are in the same situation as you? What advice would you have them? Give them?
To be honest, it's not about you anymore. Like the second, if your partner is pregnant and you're young or whatever situation is, your life is like it's not about you anymore. Like the focus. I mean, like internally, you have to go external and go, sweet, I gotta transfer all my energy, all my love, all my positivity. I gotta go this way. What do I gotta do to help support what is happening here? Yeah.
Thank you for being so open, Vili. That's it's a big topic to talk about. Thanks for willing to share it.
All good.
Let's continue, eh?
Can I tell you about those glasses, though? I left them in Fiji.
Yeah, I want to hear everything about the glasses.
I saw Versace
in a taxi, and the taxi driver actually took those learnings. I rang up.
Those teachings. I'll probably be a different person. Yeah, be a different person in terms of like, probably just think about myself all the time, and do me and only.
That's exactly what you just mentioned, Vili.
And that's not a good thing, eh?
I know this might sound odd to some people, but when his dad passed away, he came to me in a dream and he asked me to look after Vili. And so so I feel like, and I absolutely just like took it on. And so I've just spent my whole life like looking after Vili. I love him so much, and I felt so honored that his dad would visit me in this form after he passed away to look after his son. And so, yeah, that's what it is.
Vili, how is it to hear Karan speaking so lovingly about yourself, but also about your dad?
Oh, it's yeah. She told me some things that she was like, I don't want it. I didn't know they were recording. And then she was like, I don't know.
It's really honest, really open.
Yeah. Everything's honest. I was just like, yeah, take it back a little bit. Take it back. Yeah.
It's beautiful
deep,
to
man,
see.
it's deep.
Yeah, it's very deep. It's beautiful.
But it's nice to see that insight, isn't it? Because it kind of helps understand the shape behind
their journey,
the human and your journey, but also who you are when you step up
yeah.
and why you step up. So, you know, it gives that real depth. And that's what you said, Lula. It's sometimes you're stepping into the spotlight and you might not necessarily want everybody to know this, but you know, it can be so inspirational when people know that you're not always strong.
Yeah.
There are weaknesses and imperfections.
And these things made you to who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that,
people
don't you?
Say that. People say that a lot, but I think that you have to get past the shame of that. I mean, I don't know how you felt, Vili. I mean, like I just listened to your story. I can't believe how similar our stories are. But I didn't really have parents to really look after me. It was just kind of, you know, that kind of broke away when I was 16 and just figuring it out. But, you know, there's so much shame that's in that I just had to just let go and go, you know what? This is who I am.
Yeah.
This is who I have.
Yeah.
You know, even now as my mom's older and my father's passed away, you're just like, don't be, you know, that's your mom. That's who you got. That's who God gave you. So own it. Own who you are. It's a part of who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And how
so
do you
much
do that?
shame, eh?
How do you own it, and how do you get past that shame?
You know, this really just recently happened for me. It was, you know, I realized that, you know, my sister was living with my mom, and my mom has gone through, I mean, I guess she has diabetes and cancer, which she won't talk about, and she doesn't get around very well, and she lives by herself and doesn't really have a community of people around her. And, you know, I think for a long time, being, you know, left homeless, that just, it leaves really hard scars. And, you know, having kids early, you know, had Taylor at 19 and just not having any support, getting dropped off of college by somebody at my church who was like, hey, there's a connection over here. There's a lady that I know. You could reach out to her if you need it. And then that was it. There was nobody. It was me. I was on public assistance. Thank God I was 19 because I had public assistance and could get food stamps and housing allowance or whatever. But, you know, it was like, that just leaves like really ugly scars. And you're just like, I don't want to talk to these people. I don't want to talk to the people that have hurt me, that have, you know, just ignored me. And they're women, you know, and like for me, it's like I'm supposed to be helping people, like women. And women were so mean to me. And so for a long time, I wouldn't talk to them. And now it's like, I'm like, no, you got to deal with it. You got to face it. Talk to them. Say hello, you know? So that's how I deal with it. I think I just face it head on, and you just, you know, you just engage, right, Vils? I mean, you just engage when you don't want to engage.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like,
Team, we're getting deep, eh?
Yeah. There's nothing you can do. You just gotta,
Yeah. How do we take it to the next thing? Thank you so much for being open and sharing and wanting to share your story. It's inspiring. Whew. Okay. Let's switch it up, I guess. We are 3 minutes into the episode. Let's have a look at Dan and Madalena. Woo! Team, deep conversations.
Everybody got their phones out.
Yeah, it's like a rock concert, isn't it?
I know. It is.
This was LA?
Yeah.
The type of person that just absolutely...
No, this was London.
Is the one that has the ability
This was, you're right.
Deliver bigger, bolder,
Hey, so what
more
Dan is saying
dramatic.
here, we have these two types of filmings. We have the live events where we teach to the audience, and then there's The filmings where we
Sometimes we've
teach
got
directly
no one
to a
in the
camera.
audience and it's just direct to camera.
Dennis repeating what I just said. Or maybe I'm just repeating what Dan just said.
Behind 20, 30, 40 other people. The camera.
Do you have a preference, Lula? If you could pick one over the other?
To bring a certain level of connection.
I like them both for different reasons. I think they bring out different things in you each time. Being in front of the camera versus being in front of, a live audience.
Yeah.
I think you learn different things.
As easy as you think. In fact,
in both situations, and you take something away that's different every time.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. He ain't lying. It's hard.
It's very hard.
It or you don't.
Do you have a preference, Vili? If you had to choose between the live filmings or up close and personal, just at KBC Studios, for example.
On the other side of the globe, so like, phew, that's such a long flight.
They're both the same to me.
Yeah?
It's like a dream is becoming true. I'm like, I just had to, okay, breathe, all good. I don't feel ready right now.
That's the old office,
Madalena!
We haven't been there
See
in
all
a
the
while.
nerves.
I practiced it a couple of times and it feels quite good.
Me and Madalena were on the scooters. We were figuring out the scooters together.
Yeah, the lime ones.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
She got a scooter like fast, and I wouldn't get a scooter, and she picked me up on a scooter. She was like, Lula, you gotta try it. I was like, I can't.
I was so nervous. I was nervous for about 2, 3, 4 weeks leading up to it.
It's a big thing, and then when everybody comes together, like there's so much collaboration going on.
Yes.
We are. This is one of the bosses here, and she is one of the most
The boss.
amazing, precious people on the face of the planet.
I love that you call
She is the
KG
yogi
the
to my
boss.
heart. She is all about heart and soul, and she means every word of it. But she just wants us to be happy. Seriously, this is Kylie Gates. She is like the bomb diggity bomb.
She's the bomb, diggy bomb.
She the bomb, diggity bomb.
It's cool to get to work together with these people, right? They teach us so much.
Oh my goodness. Such an honor to just learn from everybody around you. I mean, even you guys on the screen, I mean, it's incredible.
The number one thing for me.
This is Mission Bay. Kylie lives in Mission Bay, like maybe 15 minutes out of Auckland Central.
Man,
it's
that's
a beautiful
beautiful.
place in Auckland.
50 people in the room, and it was packed, and women were doing, weight training, and that was what was really
Women doing weight training.
Everything's always about the people.
And she's so strong too. Like, to be so tiny, Kylie is so strong, man.
It's just, you know that it's always about the people first.
Oh,
Liza from my old Dutch team.
For the first time. And
The
as a
Netherlands and
dancer,
Belgium.
I was immediately blown away. Fell in love immediately. Started teaching as well.
Oh, she's amazing. She is amazing.
Body step, added on grit, core, and it's just like. I just got infected and I was completely hooked.
Nice.
Les Mills from the beginning.
People on the floor do not know the
So what we're seeing and looking at now is all the rehearsals before a big live event. So we get all these people coming from all different places. They come in prepared, learning their choreography, but then we have a few days where we work on the presentation and coaching.
And they're incredible to work for.
I assume they're going through core now or something.
And to have all these opportunities, but I think that is the key. You need to take the opportunity when you see it.
No!
There's Nell.
Gosh, so cute.
There's KB!
And when we get the opportunity to go to Berlin, or I was like lucky enough to go to China this year, to like Beijing, and it's so amazing just to see what Les Mills is like in different countries.
All the travel,
what I think is so
So
interesting
other, like,
is that a lot of Kiwis, a lot of people in New Zealand,
And
they
when
don't
you're
know
at these
how
lives or
big
these
Les
other
Mills
filmings,
overseas
it's
is.
all about the experience.
They think Les Mills are the gyms that are there throughout New Zealand, but they have no clue how big the events are, in how many other countries it is.
And just see how many people.
Did you notice that too, Tina, when you came to New Zealand, that it's quite low-key?
Yeah, they don't know that, there's all over the globe, all of this going on, so many people moving and moving the same, feeling the same, but just different parts of the world.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, I thought they kind of knew like how big this was. I mean,
it's not.
I think everybody should experience it once in their life, to be to go to one of these events.
Contribute to that, but I think it does.
Well, they don't even know when they go to classes that they're taught by the people on the master classes as if it's just every day.
Which just blows me away.
Same.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know that voice. I know that voice. It was incredible.
And to us, it's like, I walk into like Central One and like, you know, somebody's teaching, like when I saw Vili teaching or when I saw, you know, Karan teaching, or I walked up and Otto's teaching Tone, and I'm like, I'm about to take Tone with Otto.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Hey, I wanted to ask and bring the awareness to what Kylie just said. She said she speaks about us working for a family company, and that a lot of what we do is based on how we are treated. Let me rephrase that. She speaks very briefly over about us being a working. Sorry, let me do that again. Working for a family company. Working for a family company comes so much from that center, right? The Millses. Can you give me some examples of how you feel working with them, working for them? Because everywhere I go, people speak so highly about them. How do they treat you? How do they make you feel when you're working in the position that you're working now?
They're incredibly hospitable, aren't they? They're so hospitable, and they take great care. They see, for me, they saw everybody, you know. And also, if I think about how many people they know and see, they still take that time and patience and care, and just so hospitable, can't do enough for you. And it's quite incredible.
I see you nodding, Lula.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I first went to filming, it was, we filmed Tone. It was Tone 8, and the rehearsals were at the Mills house, and I could not believe that I was going into, you know, Jackie and Philip's house. But you walk in, and it's this warm place, and I actually remember seeing Philip in the backyard playing with the dogs. And, you know, Jackie was making like a beetroot shake, and, hey, Lula, do you want some? And, you know, it was just, they're very welcoming, loving people. And they're at the filmings, which is, you know, it's like, this is a family product. This is their lives. This is what they're doing. And when I run trainings, I always say, you know, how many people get to meet the CEO of the company that they work for? And it's not even CEO thing. I mean, they're CEOs, but it's like they come up and I'm like, I wish that was my mom and my dad, you know, and I just want to make them happy, and I want them to be proud of, you know, the work that we've done as a team. And because I love the product and I love them. So they're just, you know, magnanimous. How do you say that word? You know, I can't.
Yeah.
But
with
like,
a lot of M's and a lot of G's.
With a lot of M's and a lot of G's. You know, they're just
really
amazing, incredible people. They are.
I have so much love for the family, and it's cool. I have a connection like with each of them are all very different, very loving, and it's good to connect on a one-on-one level. And I have so much love for Diana and training with Liz and Jackie. Like there's different there's just different ways I connect with them while working there, which is really great. Loving people. Yeah, very, very selfless, and what I can say is very real, and we get on. It's good to like connect on every level. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
They're very driven as well, you know, even they could easily retire and go, that's it, you know, but they're on the ground, they want to be involved and instill that pride in the next generation, and always looking for the next generation as well, you know. So it is very selfless, and it is kind of spreading that around the world, but they do it in their present.
It must be amazing to see and witness that from their perspective, you know, like starting filming in the back corner in front of a curtain with one camera on a tripod, to these events that we now set up in LA, in Amsterdam, in Berlin, where thousands of people come over to attend the filming of the workout.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
impressive.
couldn't imagine what must go through their heads. Look, how do you look at that and go, I hope I was the catalyst for all of this. That's got to be the most overwhelming feeling for them, man. But the most prideful feeling, you know, like, look at this. Like, we're making fitness make a difference in people's lives, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, we got about 15 more minutes in the episode. Let's keep rolling.
There's more?
There's more.
There's always more.
There's always more.
People being better.
Oh,
and that forces
Summer
you to
Billy
be better.
Desi.
And then, you know, you're just always trying to up your game. You know, that's the way I see it. Yeah.
What a view.
We're going back to a bit of Lula
Yeah.
Yes.
and Bronte. It seems you've established a really beautiful connection.
In the moment, really.
And Bronte.
Not to think too far ahead. I think Lula's an incredible woman. Sometimes
There's a lot of laughter at rehearsals,
I
right?
believe that you're also a mum.
Apparently.
What? Oh,
To think that she's, you know, she's all the way over here from home. She's got her kids back at home, but she's also bonkers and she's brilliant.
Upstairs.
Wait for her, Tine. It's nice to kind of have a rock or an anchor in the crazy, fast pace.
Nice.
Yeah. I love me some Bronte. Oh, that was when we shared that chess track. Yeah.
So this is an amazing opportunity that he didn't want me to miss. But I've come here knowing that my granddad might not be here anymore when I go home.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really bittersweet. So yeah, I just needed a hug.
Do you remember that moment, Lula?
Yeah, I think he passed away like shortly after she got back. Yeah. That's my girl. That is my girl.
How were you able to help her there?
You know, Bronte again is one of those people, just like Vili and I, that just, you know, grew up and had like crazy stories to tell. I mean, I remember, you know, Philip was just so gracious and took us on that hike to Piha Beach. Remember that, Tina? That was the funniest thing. We had the best time.
We were
But I sat
lions
next to-
coming out of the jungle.
Oh gosh, that was so much fun.
Remember?
Let's do that again. But I sat next to Bronte on the bus, and she told me her story, and I was like, "Get out of town!"
You
I mean,
just
because I'm
connected.
still wild. It was complete connection. But we had been hanging out, you know, at prior filmings, but just every time we see each other, you know, it's just the presenters, you just get to know them better, and but we really connect, and we message on Instagram, and you know, I miss you more, and it's just, you know, for me, I'm just like, this is a Black chick who has like the dopest accent ever. You know, for me, it's like
she
connecting
does.
with. She does. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
she
can
does.
I just have it? I would be so hot if I had that accent. Give it to me, God. Give it to me. But no, I think it was just really not necessarily just having the talk about it, but just being there for each other. You know, if she had a moment and she had to cry, or if I had a moment and I had to cry, or we had a moment to be like she says, bonkers.
Yeah.
It just the time spent and just that one-on-one, you know, time that we had together, just, I think, really supporting each other in that way, going for a coffee or just walking, you know, to and from rehearsals and stuff. It's just that part. It's just the support through that, where we don't necessarily have to say, hey, my grandfather's sick. Hey, he's going to pass away. Although we did have those conversations, but just the support throughout all that too.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's continue, eh? How are you liking it so far, eh?
It's good.
It's good, right?
It's good.
See,
I've been looking at this and I'm thinking like, huh?
5:58 a.m. Whose rehearsal was that?
Your rehearsal.
Right.
Who's letting us in?
That's so New Zealand as well. Early starts.
Early starts.
Early
Yeah, they
start.
And
love
don't
to
nobody
train
be at the
early.
office to let nobody in. We be like, we here. We're not late.
Any worries, any doubts, like they are absolutely not going to serve you right now because
Coffee.
you're getting closer and closer to that filming point. Like, you buckle up.
I love that there's so much laughter, you know, like there's real like friendships being built.
Tired.
Seriously.
Tired because there's a lot going on, and body pump is like such a.
Is there
Performing even when
is
it's
there a-
crunch time.
Sorry, Tina, you go.
So I'm like,
No, it's just performing when it's crunch time. You have to bring it, no matter how you feel,
Yes.
the jet lag,
gotta
the
bring it.
emotions.
How is the difference between programs? Is there a different?
It is not a lot of time.
Is there a different pressure to different programs?
It can be stressful, nerve-wracking, because everyone does things
Hello?
differently.
Hello.
I think
We
there's
can
a
hear you.
different. And I repeat, do not let
Hello?
this fucking stress you out.
Lula, we're gonna have to bleep you out a lot.
I know. I'm sorry. But I mean, why you gonna bleep me out though? Like I am who I am. I mean, I need it today.
No bleep.
I'm not a cuss word though. I mean,
with the team, done this before, and they just
Hey, is there a different tension that comes with different programs?
let go. And there's a part of me that just doesn't let go because
Essentially,
you
yep.
know I always want to have like that,
Especially
fear
the
of
top
just being a
program.
professional at all times, and I feel like I can't take some of the
The
liberties
face.
that people take.
Facial fireworks.
Like a bit of a
Hey, I wanted to ask you here. You said I just can't take some of the liberties that some people
I
take.
knew you were gonna. I knew that. I knew you were gonna.
Fill us in. What did you mean?
It's more tea.
I think that just comes. I think that I'm not spilling it. I'm not. I think for me, there's this air of just. It's really a Lula driven thing. It's because I can be so conservative. Like everyone sees, like she's loud, she's boisterous, she's got this personality, but like I'm really super conservative. Really on the inside, I'm super conservative, and I think that where I feel like, and maybe it's the just be you, just show up and be who you are, and don't worry about it. And I think those are the liberties that I'm speaking of. Is that people,
Okay.
there are some people that just show up and they're just like they're just unabashedly themselves. And I think there's
Yes.
a part of me that isn't necessarily fully that.
Yeah. Are you getting there?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that for me, it's just like this season of life, this past year has been a real ride for me, a real roller coaster. And I think I'll show up at filming a different person. I promise you I'm showing up to filming a different person.
What is going to be different?
I'm just going to walk into it and be like, what we doing? And I'm going to have fun doing it. I think,
Okay.
and stay out of my head with it and say, you know what, whatever liberties I think I can take, I'm going to take them. I'm going to take every single one of them.
Okay.
I'm going to show up looking like a superhero. I'm going to be a superhero, and I'm going to
Nice.
talk like a superhero. And I'm going to love Lula throughout that entire process. And I'm going to love on my teammates more. I'm going to spend time with as many people as I can spend time with and stay out of my head and completely enjoy that experience. Oh, this past year has been a year, and I promise I'm showing up different for sure.
I'm looking forward to see it.
Me too.
Hey,
Brilliant.
and Vili, you mentioned that there's there can be a little bit of different pressure when it comes to different programs, right? What is can you give us some examples?
I think, well, it's the biggest programs, right? Body Pump is the biggest program in the world.
Yep.
Body Combat, biggest. Like,
Does it come therefore with more pressure?
yeah, man, more eyes, more pressure, more attention to detail. Like, there's just more pressure because it's reaching a lot more people around the world, and it's super important that we get the best version of that product out there every single round. And we
Yes.
have to do it, and you have to keep doing it, you know?
Because we get most eyes on those programs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
it's a they're very important. Not to say that the others aren't, but they're the biggest programs, so they've reached the most people.
Yeah.
So it needs a lot of attention to detail.
We're getting closer to actually getting those classes filmed, specifically Body Pump and Combat. Let's have a look.
Was this the filming after all the practice?
And the push-ups. Should we kind of speak to, should it be like girl talk banter?
It's not gonna really.
Did it become girl talk banter, Lula, or what happened there?
So we were struggling with that track because we're supposed to be like making it like a melodic
weird and odd. We're in another country
thing
in front of all of our idols, the people that
and it
literally
worked.
create the things that
Nice.
I go and take home, you know, and so I'm literally here at the Mecca.
Standing next to Glenn Osegar, that's nuts.
They come here and everything's under the microscope. So I think it's quite normal.
There's so much eye for detail, right?
Pulling their hair out.
Technique, aligning
Pulling their
choreography,
hair out.
coaching.
It's a breakthrough. And then they come back and they're like, right, I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then so many classes, so many rehearsals.
So many sore bodies.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and minds.
It's such a process. I
Yeah.
mean, it's such a process.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, you talk about confidence. It's like
Yesterday was
everybody
the
in
day
that
where
room
everything was
is
up to
got to
date.
have the confidence. You've got Kylie Gates and Diana Mills sitting in the
scripting
front of the
and saying, like,
room,
is
or
it
you're
good
you're
enough? Am I
you
doing
know the
good
people
enough?
that are
Is it
still
good
your
enough?
greats that are now your family, and you're like, I got to be the strong link in this chain too. I don't want to
Yeah.
be the weak link in this chain.
100% yet, but
Like we're counting on
yeah,
each
we're
other
way better in a way
to
better
have
place
our
than we
stuff
were
together.
And now we're at the stage of, hey, we know the thing. We're confident enough. We are a good team.
Nice. The team starts to grow more as the week
For the
progresses.
presenter to find their own authentic teaching style.
It feels almost a
Oh,
almost teaching ourselves to become friends again with our own body, I think.
Nice, Bram.
I think it's almost like teaching ourselves to becoming friends again with our own breath.
For a moment, I thought the video was on pause.
Getting to know ourselves a little bit more. I think that
It's Bram. He breathes and he pauses and he takes his time.
Yes.
he
just
does.
whatever comes
Love
out
me
is
some
beautiful.
Bram.
Of less meals, of course. You know, we're in the place where everything starts.
Hey, I wanted to come back to that number, Tina. In the first episode, we heard a little bit about what that meant and how instructors are being taken through an assessment when it comes to those 5 key elements. But take us through your process when you're assessing, well, 2 of the trainers that we see here on screen, but also all the other trainers. What is your process like, and what are you looking at when you're judging these instructors?
So we have a really rigid we have a really great framework that allows for growth, but also sees the individual. The whole idea of this is everybody that you see teaches differently, and that's exactly how it should be, but they teach like a team. They come together and they teach in something that honors the actual workout. So when you look, and when we that number at the bottom, that is the score. So what have they scored? And that score changed after watching different, you know, so we watched Lula lots of times. And when I say we, there was a panel behind it. So it doesn't just become my personal
Your opinion, yes.
It's
Yes.
not my opinion. And within our system, we have an objective, we call it skills and criteria, so that it remains objective. But as it's human and as this is still entertainment, and because we want the individuals to shine and be themselves, there is always going to be an element of subjectivity. But that number reflects where they are on the scale at that stage, but it flipped. And sometimes you could nearly see the thoughts, you know, is it good enough? And then you can see the performance. Actually, they might not have scored as high as their previous because the thoughts got in the way, the body got in the way.
Yeah.
But yes, we use a really robust framework to see the individual, but also to ensure that the quality that is, a little bit to Vili's point, the quality that is delivered globally is there. And that goes for everybody, even teaching to 5 people in a smaller class. It's the same. The quality is there. We want people to love movement.
Hey, Tina, how good are you if you score a 9?
Ooh, burn, baby, burn. You are up there because the highest is a 10. So you'll see in the scores that there is minute differences, and it can be the smallest thing that actually just makes that difference. So everybody that you see on these masterclasses is an absolute incredible superstar at what they do. But there is still a marked difference. And it's just where you see that little bit of change.
Hey,
so
and
that's
Tine,
where it is.
what would score a good instructor? What is a good score?
I don't know if you can say good or not good, because it depends on where you are in your journey. Like the scale starts from 1 and it moves to 10, but it's not a linear scale, because it gets harder and harder. So once you hit the level 3 and up, level 5, it becomes harder and harder because it's all in the little details.
Yeah.
And if you listen to Lula and Vili, all you can see is resilience and relentlessness in the detail. When they come under the microscope, as Kylie says, because that is what it is, it comes down to the nitty-gritty small detail. And that's where, so there's not a good or bad. If you're out there teaching, inspiring people, if you do your prep, if you want people to fall in love with fitness and help people move, because we need more people moving, then you're doing good. Then you can the development opportunity is there. You want to be better? Well, here you go. These are some ideas and some tips that we can give you in your space to grow.
Nice.
We very much try and do it in a way that speaks to the individual and your strengths, because everybody has their own, their own strengths. I'm looking at the three of you and I'm like, I have a little about the different strengths and what you kind of, what each of you bring. And you want people to keep bringing that, but then it's harnessing other stuff to elevate it.
Hey, your job must be difficult when you see all these people that are so good and able to score a 9 or above. Are you always able to find improvements?
Sometimes it's not improvements. I'm wondering if it's more whether or not they're creating a bit of change, so that there's been learning since the previous what we've watched.
Yeah.
So is there something there? Are they leaning into their strength? And sometimes, because you want to try something new, you want to be fresh and flexible. And when you try something new, it does not always work. And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that it doesn't work, because if you don't try it, you're just going to teach the same. And Lula's laughing because you go through that phase of going, oh, I'll try this. Oh, wow, that did not work. And that's allowed to.
And we often go overboard, right?
Yeah.
If we're here and we're trying something new, we want to end up in the middle, but you go...
Yes,
you
it's
go
like
overboard.
any skill. You have to practice it so many times, but sometimes it becomes excessive, and then you find a sweet spot. And you need to be able to find that sweet spot. But the only way you find a sweet spot is by moving from one end to the other end of the scale, and then just, this works for me. And also it has to work for you as well, because sometimes, I know you go through a rigorous scripting process, but sometimes when you script, it might not feel natural to you, and then the delivery will not be natural. So you have to, but still you have to be prepared. So where's the sweet spot for you in that? And that's finding yourself along the journey. That doesn't just happen like that. You've been to many, many masterclasses, all three of you, and it doesn't just happen like that. Like you could go back and watch yourselves and you'd be like, wow, I changed.
What did I do there again?
Yeah,
why was I thinking this was a good idea? Yeah. Are you ready to watch the masterclass? Because we're getting close to filming Body Pump and Body Combat. Let's go.
And we
It's going to be good.
People who made the program. Of course, there's extra pressure that we put on ourselves. It's about being a team player. There's a reason why each one of us being chosen, because we each have something to contribute. I know that I've been chosen because I have something that I can give.
I'm still wondering, do you know what that something is?
Have we given enough?
Are you able to articulate it?
That the program directors and
I don't know.
The company.
No, it's difficult, right? I don't think I can.
Stand next to somebody and you're like, oh my God.
I can say it about others.
Good. And then you start to doubt.
Can say it
Isn't
about
that crazy?
You, Lula.
You can say it about others.
About others, it's hard to.
Imposter syndrome that I have.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they will always remind us that
imposter syndrome, isn't that just the thing that holds us the most back? Is believe,
maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Am I good enough? Yeah.
And yet that vulnerability is also such a sell, isn't it? It's such a driver, because when you want something,
if I make a mistake,
you work for it.
This is going to be public.
Yep.
You cannot pull it back.
And that's a good point because you are judged. There are social media platforms. There's so many ways to feedback, and you are judged, and you're putting yourself out there to be judged, and something that cannot be taken back.
I was gonna say, and you can't take it back. I mean, this stuff lives on in infamy, and
my career blossoms. When I stop trying, I stop focusing on myself, and that is when they actually see me.
That's beautiful, Bram.
And it's
he's so lovely. He's such a lovely human being.
That is when things start to happen, I think.
So it's
Nice.
Q and swallow. We're doing 4 reps then?
Yep, 4.
Now's the time we've got to double down and just really know where
Okay,
you're going
we're
to
getting
be,
close to that
what you've got to
filming.
say, but also bring yourself and be in the moment.
I feel I've been saying that for the last 20 minutes,
That is a
though.
lot to
You're
take
such
on.
a tease.
Yeah.
Bas. Bring it on now already.
Way to reel us in, boss.
He's keeping
Way to
us
reel
in
us in.
suspense.
Let me take you through a little bit of a break here. Filming day. I told you.
Oh, filming day. Here we go.
Because if we're late, they're gonna be pissed. Morning, bye.
Lula, sometimes I don't know if you're talking in this conversation or in that conversation that we're watching.
For a little bit. So you've got the directions.
So this was in Auckland when we filmed at Shed 10, which is close to the water.
Oh.
I just want to get there on time because I don't want to be that girl.
Right, come on, run.
Waiting for Renee.
Oh, we walked.
Yeah.
We
That's at the
walked
bottom of
that
Queen
morning.
We were like, oh, we've left them behind.
Oh,
At
I
least you
forgot
didn't have
they
Bram
were
as your
walking behind
guide.
us.
That's when the nerves are there, when the excitement is there.
Yeah.
Vili, right before filming, like we spoke about it in the last episode with Marlon and Bronte. Are you somebody who gets excited, or are somebody who pulls back?
I've scripted and I've gone through.
I just kind of like pull back and just have thoughts to myself. I need to be alone
To get in the zone?
And then, yeah, because I have to visualize. I always visualize how it's gonna go from beginning to end. Like I kind of visualize how everything is gonna go, where I'm gonna peak, where I'm gonna die, where I need recovery. I kind of like to see the whole thing before it happens.
Yeah,
which could be weird, you know. But yeah, I visualize, and then I'll relax later.
Nice.
Lula, Madalena, Renee, Regan,
Such a big production.
I just love how people say my name, Lula.
But you're doing the intro.
I'm doing
right?
the intro, yes.
Shall we do it? The music?
No, Lula starts. I think it's pick up your bar.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where to go.
I love
And
that.
it's such a
Lena.
big space.
Where to go?
Oh, Madalena.
Fortunately,
Do you do a warm up before the warm up?
cold, sterile.
I didn't. At first, I didn't. I would just go over my script. But then I remember we were in Canada. We were in Toronto, and Dan was going through like like he was doing like shadow boxing and stuff.
Nice.
And I actually started doing that because I think it really does. It helped with the nerves, just to kind of get the body moving and get it warm too.
Yeah.
So I started doing that.
Yeah.
cameras all up in your grill the entire
So that's the last
In your
briefing before
grill.
we actually. Yes. Last briefing before we actually get started.
and your bodies behind the green line.
You start to think about all of the things. Okay, what is the filming day going to be like? What are my shoes going to be like on this floor? Are the clothes going to hold up? Am I going to get my timing right?
Yes.
I'm shaking. And I still
And then it's happening.
100% about it, but I'm literally going to pull off of everything that I've ever been through.
And then everybody's watching behind the desk.
Just like, gosh,
The coaches, the technical consultants, Rob and Bryce.
that is the person that I go to for filming day
Nice, Lula.
to get shit done.
Get shit done. Let's do it.
Y'all can't bleep me out. It's too good to bleep out. Don't.
It's gonna be so many bleeps.
I'm like, what is she saying? Oh.
It's really cool to see. Eh?
I think
I love
that's the thing.
behind
You
the
just
scenes
go
stuff.
into this like, get it done. You just get it done. Oh,
That eyebrow lift. I loved it.
oh, she has the best eyebrow lift,
has
man.
got to really jump up. You don't have the ability to be able to feedback off of the audience. You know, you can't hide.
Nice. There you're both in
The camera's
combat.
now on you. It's
Was
not
that the
on
number
Tim's
you
other
were just
people.
speaking
The
about?
ability to be able to connect.
The release you're just speaking
90,
about?
was
Vili?
that was 96
Absolutely
Bills,
amazing.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
97?
You gotta say,
96.
do I love what I do? And the minute you
Nice. That's looking good, eh?
is the minute you should quit. I want to leave a legacy for my children. The legacy of somebody who just never fucking gave up.
Nice. Hey, and then that release is so good, right? After filming, when it's all wrapped.
Done.
Does it feel empty? How does it feel?
Will I come back? I mean, if I'm invited, I mean, who would say no? It's definitely an honor and a blessing and a privilege just to be here, just to be in the space. And for me, that's everything. That's everything because it's family to me.
So beautiful.
It was perfect. It was perfect. I felt like on a cloud.
Are you feeling it again, Lula?
It really felt good. Also the adrenaline of the cameras and things. I'm taking things differently now, yes. This is an incredible thing.
Yeah.
A lot of presenters came here, never came back. That was maybe for some people like a one shot. That makes me think that don't take things for granted. Because, okay, we're here, that was an amazing week, but maybe it won't happen again.
Well done, you.
Yeah.
What are you feeling, Lula?
I mean, I think that, you know, we talk a lot about how much goes into this and how we're scored and the things that we've gone through in life. And then when we actually get to these filmings, you know, you're just like, I would have never imagined in my wildest dreams that I would have seen the Sydney Opera House, that I would go to New Zealand. I mean, and when people go, you know, I go, you know, for the last few years, I've gone to New Zealand once, sometimes twice a year. And I mean, coming from where I came from, you know, like what Vili was saying, like, I wanted to take ballet lessons. I wanted to do lots of stuff when I was a kid. And, you know, people would say that I was going to do it and I didn't get it. And we couldn't afford it. And then I put myself on these planes going half across the world. And for me to see, you know, people that look like me, that love fitness the way I do, that live on the other side of the world to me. I mean, like Hal said, like, don't take it for granted because it might not happen again. And it's the coolest thing ever. And I think sometimes we forget it because we just want to be perfect and we want the product to be perfect and we want to show up as a presenter that can hold their own so that we can be a teammate with the people on stage so that, you know, they can trust us and they can trust our skills and they can trust our craft. And that they don't have to carry us, that they know that we can manage our part, you know, as the team. But we just, you know, we forget that it is one of the coolest things on the face of the planet to do. And I think I forget that. And when my kids turn around and tell me how cool that is, it reminds me of just, you know, the little black girl from Chicago, I like to say, who didn't grow up with nothing. You know, like Bill's, you know, I've been in some really awful
Tough
places
situations,
growing
yeah.
up. Yeah. And then you come to these big stages and you get hair and makeup and you're just like, wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. But we work for it. We just have to remember that, you know, just to stay humble
Vili?
and to always appreciate it.
How is it for you, Vili, to see this process, to hear that there are some like similarities? Do I say that right? Like similarities between you and Lula's story?
Oh yeah, I think it just shows a lot of strength, and what you overcome, and like adversity, and it's really like you can see the character, like it builds character, like challenge builds character, adversity is always gonna if you can overcome all of these challenges, no matter what it be in life, like we get them all the time, right? Like it's never gonna stop. It's just how you deal with it. And I think I've just gotten really good at dealing with pressure, even though it feels super uncomfortable. And weirdly enough, I always put myself under pressure and make sure I'm facing adversity, because that's where all the growth comes from. This is where I've grown the most as a human. And like anytime I feel comfortable, I'll chuck myself in the deep end to make sure that it keeps me grounded and it keeps me humble.
Yeah.
And like just even picking up a lot of martial arts over the last year and fighting with people you only see on TV, and I'm constantly in there like embracing the fear and like fear is a good thing and how you use it. And I find that when I put myself in these positions during the week, I'm not comfortable, and I don't like to be comfortable because there's no growth there. I think, and everyone I'm around, especially Karan, my wife, is constantly living in that place because we find good success in finding another version of ourselves if we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as humans, it's very easy to just chill when everything's nice. And we're just like, sweet, I like it here. But it's like,
you actively put yourself into an uncomfortable place to get past that.
Yeah, and just to remind myself how to deal with things when I feel super uncomfortable. And I think that's super important. Like you can get comfortable, you know, like with life, everything's going well.
Yeah.
There's no issues, and it's not to say that we want issues. It's just
the
growth will come when you keep stretching yourself. And I found that very early, and I think that's super important. It just keeps me humble, keeps me growing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, grounded to the floor. Yeah,
we're having some deep conversations today, team.
Yeah, it becomes a bit addictive, doesn't it? Because you all of a sudden understand, well, it feels uncomfortable, but the other side, there's such a reward. So you've taught yourself that actually there's a reward. I'm addicted to this because I know the benefits that comes from it. Because you can see across the board here, like the drive literally in everybody.
Absolutely. It's beautiful to see. Thank you so much for being so open. I think we have a few minutes left. Let's watch it together.
So good. Yeah, I'd absolutely love to. It feels like home. That's the only way that I can describe it.
Hey, Billy, who's the loudest?
That's what you just said as well, Lula.
Toss up between Marlon and you.
He's probably right. But yeah, it's huge.
I think Vili is right.
I loved your hair like that, really, by the way. I was like, wow, it looks so different.
His side part. Bill's at his side part.
The US of
No.
incredible.
So Tine, take us through what's happening here, eh?
Lula, the lovely.
So this is where we literally were on the ground and we did the post-filming assessment where we were looking at technique and coaching, connection, performance. Yeah, come on, beast.
Are you all right? Are you all right? Awesome.
She still has says. So you bring it, but you bring it in a Lula style, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what we look for. So we still look for that. Is there something different there? Are they, you know, look, and there's the scoreboard and you see the scoreboard change. Yeah. Oh, look.
So cool. Lula, Vili, Tine, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's been so cool to see how open and honest you were in the episode, but also here. I think that's a wrap on episode 2, everybody.
That's a wrap.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.